CFO saved 28 crore rupees in electricity bill and 70% renewable energy solution. But the journey was not smooth. Here is what happened. CFO, newly appointed by a steel company based out of Maharashtra, was mandated to go for renewable energy solution so that they can save cost. CFO wanted to prove his worth. He reached out to multiple developers through the RFP and asked them to give them the proposals. He received various proposals with different capacities, different savings and different replacement. He was confused. How does he validate these numbers? Because all the numbers that he has received was dependent upon the contract demand or dependent upon the consumption and dependent upon their variable grid cost tariff. So I decided to make this video to help this CFO and you as the industrial leader that when you receive such proposals, how can you validate these proposals? How can you understand your electricity bills so that you can validate the savings and the capacities and thus the investment on your renewable energy solutions? Here is top 5 things that you can look at in your electricity bills so that you can evaluate the renewable energy proposals and the savings and the IRR in these proposals. Before I tell you about these 5 things, here is a disclaimer. Each of the things that I'm going to talk about is so critical, have an interdependence on each of the terms, and it is important for you to understand these 5 terms. So if you are serious about calculating the IRR and the savings and the return on your investments and achieving renewable energy solutions. So let's get started without a further ado. So term number 1 is contract demand. Contract demand is the capacity that you take from DISCOM, the maximum capacity that you take. Why it is critical? Because there are some certain states wherein the open access capacity or the renewable energy capacity that you are taking is dependent upon the contract demand. For example, let's say in Rajasthan, you cannot go beyond the contract demand while taking renewable energy solution. And in states like Tamil Nadu, there is no restriction on the contract demand. Second important term that you need to look at in the electricity bill is the units that you are consuming from the grid and at what time you are consuming. In electricity bill, there is an element called as TOD, which means time of day, which distributes how many units you are taking at what time you are taking. It's super critical to understand the timing of it because the renewable energy solution that you're taking has a lot dependence on what time you are taking it. For example, let's say you're consuming 60% of your power during the peak hours, which is let's say the evening hours. Probably solar plus battery energy storage is a far better solution for you than only taking a solar solution. That's why it is an important term for you to look at in the electricity bill. Number 3 is the voltage level. You have to check in the electricity bill at what voltage level your plant is connected at. 11 kV, 33 kV, 66 kV, 132 kV. It depends upon your state grid code. Why it is important? There are 3 important metrics which get impacted by the voltage level. One is the open access charges changes from voltage level. The open access losses changes from voltage level and thus it impacts your savings directly. For example, a consumer at 33 kV level versus at 11 kV level probably is paying the lesser grid tariff and also the savings and the economics completely different when you are taking a renewable energy solution. So it's very important that you validate, check at what voltage level that you are connected at and then look at developer proposal or renewable energy solution proposal to calculate and validate your savings and the IRR. The number 4 is the variable grid cost, the cost at which you are buying the units from the grid. This tariff is determined by the electricity regulation in the state and has a direct impact on your savings. For example, let's say the electricity cost from the grid is 8 rupees, your solar landed cost is 5 rupees, it is giving you a savings of 3 rupees, which means it's a healthy savings for you to evaluate a solar solution. If you have understood these 4 terms, then here is the 5th one. There are other variable costs other than the grid cost. For example, the fuel surcharge, for example, the electricity duty. You have to add this up in the variable cost, match it with the solar landed cost or wind solar hybrid landed cost, and then evaluate what is the savings. For example, in the previous example I gave you, 8 rupees is the base electricity cost. Add let's say 1 rupee for another variable cost like electricity duty, it becomes 9 rupees. Match it with the renewable energy landed cost, let's say it is 5 rupees, and then check how much savings that you are making. So these are the 5 key important terms that you need to look at in your electricity bill before you start decoding the renewable energy developers proposal and validating them through the electricity bill. So the first step is to go and decode your own electricity bills. Through this video, understand these 5 terms and then calculate the savings and the IRR. I hope you found this video useful. If you found this video useful, then I have a special invitation for you. This invitation is to book a one-on-one consultation call with me and my team. In this call, what we are going to do is to check your electricity bill, understand each of the term, its impact on the renewable energy solution that you can take, how much savings that you can make. This 1 hour consultation call with us will give you at least 10x value, because it will save at least 4 to 5 months of your time doing this in-house. Second, it will give you all the risk and the mitigation in any of the renewable energy solution and the returns that you can make. So go in the link below, book a one-on-one consultation call with us. I look forward to see you in that call with me and my team and in my next video. Thank you so much.